Hi, I'm Craig Phillips. Welcome to my tiling trade tips. In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace old, worn out silicone in your bathroom areas. We've got a line of silicone all the way across this room where the wall tiles meet the floor tiles and the shower tray. It's decayed, it's split all the way along there. Some areas it's starting to go mouldy. It's got to be replaced. Now the tools you're going to require are a good quality silicone, a caulk gun for applying it, a scraper, trimming knife, masking tape, dustpan and brush, and some silicone wipes. So first thing I'm going to start with is to remove the old silicone. To do this, you're going to need your trimming knife and your scraper. I prefer these flat trimming knives where I can place them flush against the floor tile and start to cut the underside of that silicone, and then I do it down the top of the silicone, placing it against the top of the tile. Most of the time old silicone can be removed easily, but for more stubborn areas you can buy chemicals that can help remove it. However, when using these you will need to make sure that the chemicals are completely cleaned off afterwards before applying your new silicone. Then I'll take my small hand brush to just see if I've got all of that silicone off both the wall and the floor tile. Perfect. So now I'm going to do the same along the edge of my shower tray. It's the same principle, using the flat edge of your trimming knife, trying to just cut underneath that old silicone and down the back of it. Now in our shower area here, this isn't a flush tile, so it is a little bit awkward. Hopefully at home your tiles may be a bit flusher. Once you've removed all of the old silicone and cleaned it off, you're ready to start applying the new silicone. Now if you're experienced using it, you can simply get your caulk gun ready, trim the edge of your nozzle and run a line of silicone in there, shaping it up with the end of there and the right amount of pressure. However, if you haven't done that before, and it can be quite tricky, here's a couple of little tips to make it easier for you. I'm going to take some masking tape and I'm going to run a line of masking tape all the way along the bottom, across the shower tray and across the floor tile, just about 5 millimeters away from the actual gap. Then I'm going to take another piece of masking tape and do the same, but this time on the wall, just about 5 millimeters above the actual crack. And what this will do is control where you apply your silicone once you wipe it smooth, whether you're using your finger or a smoothing tool. Now I've left the gap a little bit wider where the shower tray meets the wall. That's just due to the nature of these tiles. They're very standing proud in areas, so we have got quite a large gap behind there which has been filled down the back of it with some grout which is rigid, but of course we want to seal over the top of that with the silicone. So my gap there is wider than what it is where the wall tiles, the flush ones, meet the floor. Now the masking tape is in position, I'm going to load up my caulk gun. Now normally I'd also trim this nozzle off at an angle, and I will do in a moment, but to start with I'm just going to apply the silicone through that little narrow hole here, just so I get right tight into the gap. Place the nozzle right into the area that needs filling and slowly start to squeeze the handle of your caulk gun until the silicone appears. Then slowly guide it across the gap. Once your first line is complete, use a silicone wipe to remove any bacteria from your fingers before starting to wipe the wet silicone. So now I've pushed that silicone deep into that crack all the way across there with my finger. I'm just going to clean it up, and now I'm going to cut the nozzle down so it's a little bit wider and then apply a second line. This will give you a thicker layer of the silicone that will bond between the base and the wall surfaces. And the moment you've wiped it smooth, you can then start to remove your masking tape. This is always best to be done straight away whilst the silicone is still wet. And that is how easy it is to re-silicone around your shower area. It would be exactly the same, of course, if it was the bath or even a sink. If you're looking for more how-to videos or inspiration, just check us out on social media and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can get all the details from townmountain.co.uk.